Anyway, all right, let's get into the Genshin news. As I say, I don't really speak on Genshin often. And I like to speak on news about games sometimes, and even games I don't play, right? But I don't really particularly talk about the game themselves in regards to my opinion of the game, which a lot of people like to do with Genshin. They like to shit on Genshin all the time, even though I don't play. Well, I don't do that, but I don't mind talking about the developer side of things, right? I think it's fine to talk about the developer. I've been talking about that with Infinity Nikki. I won't talk about the game because I ain't got much experience with the game. I haven't played this game for a hot minute now. So we're not talking about the game here. We're just going to talk about this situation here, guys, which is interesting. And I think it's a good thing, right? I think it's a good thing, the things that are being introduced. It shows how fucking shit some of the systems are. But that's the reason why we want this. Yeah, this is the reason why we want these sort of things, and maybe it makes these developers a little bit better in the systems. They can't hide behind a lot of word salad and ignorance of the player base as well. But anyway, this is coming from Genshin Impact. Dear travelers, we are required by law to age verify US player accounts. The age verification process will be rolled out to all US players by May 20th. Well, log in if already have one or account registration, right? So this is for US players. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if this starts to spread, right? Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if this starts to spread. And I think it should. Because at the end of the day, gacha games, pretty predatory, and we really shouldn't have kids playing them, right? We really shouldn't. You know, I don't think that's a base take. I think that's a pretty standard take, right? You know, I remember when everybody was freaking about when we went up to 16 plus and was like, oh my God, this is fucked up. They shouldn't do this. And it's like, is that the angle we're taking now? Really? Come on. Please ensure to provide your age information by July 18th, 2025. Failure to verify will result in account suspension. Whoa! In-game friends and chat records will be deleted. Damn, man, they're gonna fucking Thanos snap your ass. They're gonna Thanos snap your ass. They're not even just deleting your account. You didn't even exist, bro. You didn't even exist. All of your friends are going to be like, oh, let me just see if what's it. Oh, who was his name now? Did he actually? Am I just making this up? No further notifications post suspension due to inaccessible account information is required by law. Okay, so this is very important that they get this out to all the players, right? This is very important that they get this out to all the players. Because, yeah, I feel like there might be some players who get themselves fucked. But hopefully the game prompts you to do it all anyway. And that's not too far away, actually. That's actually my birthday, that is. That's my actual birthday. If the verification is not completed by July 20th, 2026... Oh, okay, so... the personal information of your HoYoverse account will be deleted permanently. Wait a minute. Wait. So do you have... Okay, no. So, if you don't provide it by the 18th of July, they'll Thanos snap you out of the game. You're gone. You never existed. And if you don't do it by next year, they're literally just going to delete all of your HoYoverse info. So that's everything. So obviously, I'm assuming this affects all the games. Or is this just affecting... So this is going to affect all the games then, yeah? So if you haven't registered your age for Star Rail, Zenless, it's going to be everything, yeah? Damn. Holy shit. Okay. They ain't messing around. They are not messing around. That is actually kind of crazy. In-game friends and chat records. We're all about to lose our friends who haven't logged in for 30 plus 1 days, aren't we? RIP. You know, the Thanos snapping you, man. HoYo are inevitable, and you will be snapped out of existence. Insane. Yeah, this is only for US. Yeah, this is only for US at the moment. Now that it's extreme, it is pretty extreme. I hope this thing doesn't exist in Arknights. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't spread, honestly. We were speaking about this before with the EU regulations coming in, right? There's big players on the world stage moving in certain directions, right? And I know people have said, well, these games might just pull out of EU. They might just... I don't think they will, you know? EU's a growing market for these games, and they're all obviously trying to get in there, right? NA is definitely a market for them that's growing. It's not the biggest ones, but I don't think they're going to cut off these markets out of the idea of we're not going to play ball. So... you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this starts to spread, man. And if China start to make some moves, you know, to get in line on an international basis, then yeah, it's it could be a world ride. But along with this, guys, along with this now, you can actually see the prices of things in Genshin Impact. Okay, so this post is here. you can actually apparently buy intertwined fates now. Your pulls directly with cash again. So this is kind of interesting. So you can see that 1 is going to cost you $2.59. 10 is going to cost you $22. Again, we spoke about this. This is a thing that the EU were trying to do. Not sure if this is any other region, but in the US, you can buy 1 to 10 wishes directly. I would imagine this is going to come to the EU. I definitely think this is going to come to the EU because this is something the EU wanted, didn't they? They want to get rid of the idea of like bundles like this, where it might not be enough to buy a particular thing or maybe a little bit too much to buy a particular thing. So yeah, this is something I definitely do see spreading, if I'm honest. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. When are the tariffs hitting pools? They're keeping it off services for the moment, aren't they? Well, they'll probably never hit services, if I'm honest. So I think games will be okay, at least on the digital side of things. So yeah, you're going to be able to see now how much money you're wasting, right? You're going to see how much money you're wasting on some of these games, or you're just enjoying, right? You know, you're going to look at it from everybody's perspective, but yeah, you're going to actually see the price of things now, right? So, you can see the HoYoverse has updated item pricing as per FTC settlement back in January 2025. You didn't know the FTC went after Genshin or HoYoverse, obviously being the parent company, in regards to pricing and stuff like that now. So you can directly see the price in things and you can actually see how much it's worth. You can actually see the scale here of how many pulls it's going to get you, right? How many pulls it's going to get you. One thing that I found a little bit more interesting though, right, is on the banners now, on the banner information, right? On the banner information here, right? Yeah, dude, $100, $100 for 50 pulls. Might make some people question their spending habits, right? Might make some people question their spending habits. But anyway, this is another thing that I found interesting here. So, obviously, you've got your information, your probability of your pulls, right? Which usually we see in all gacha games, and it's usually just a bunch of information regarding the pulls. Now, you're not just going to get that, right? You're going to get a little bit of extra here. So you can see the consolidated probability of obtaining a 5-star event exclusive characters, including wish guarantees and capturing radiance, is 1.103%, right? The cost of obtaining a 5-star event exclusive character may vary from $1.98 to $475.2 if purchased in USD, the 5-star event exclusive. So, it's kind of crazy to see, right? It's kind of crazy to see. There's going to be a lot of gacha games that are not going to want to implement these, but if they're going to want to get into international markets, they're probably going to end up being forced to, because, you know, the EU and America are big regulators, right? They're big regulators. The EU are making moves. America's making moves. It will tend to force, or a lot of other places will follow, whether that's in, you know, Canada, the UK, you know, other regions outside of CN. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see those moves made, right? Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see, I guess. But this is actually insane to see. Oh yeah, no, I'm not like pointing out that Genshin bad here. Like, this is just, you know, when it gets applied to all games, we're going to look at them and go, fuck, is it that much? Because it can be a little bit abstract sometimes, can't it? When you just look at the pulls and you're like, oh, that's going to cost me 80, 160, oh, that's going to cost me so many pulls. And you're like, damn, man, better get some farming on. Oh, let me buy a little pack here. When you actually see the price, you're like, what? That's going to cost me how much? So yeah, I think, I think it's smart, right? I think it's smart, right? I think it's a good thing. You know what I mean? I think it's a good thing, if I'm honest. The more transparency, the better for the consumer at the end of the day. Then you can decide do I really want to go down this rabbit hole? You know, a lot of these psychological mechanisms are going to probably be rug pulled from these developers now, potentially, or at least the ones where they get to obfuscate. How'd you say it now? Whatever, anyway. Get to work around it. I can't speak today. But yeah, let's have a look at this as well. Epitome of invocation. And then you can see here as well, including the wish guarantee. Weapon. The weapon may vary from obfuscate. Yeah, I know the word. I just can't say it. You know, it's like Philanthropy. I can never fucking say that word. I just become fucking retarded when I try and say it. Yeah, so it's not that I don't know the word. It's that I can't say the word, okay? Because I have like a retard mouth, basically. So yeah, event exclusive weapon may vary from $1.98 to $422.4 if purchased in USD. So obviously you've seen the weapon now. You've seen the characters. Woo! It's woo! Spicy. So what's this here then? The statement on the US FTC settlement. Singapore, January 18th, 2025. Cognisphere, the distributor of Genshin Impact, has reached a settlement agreement with the United States Federal Trade Commission to strengthen and increase transparency around our parental consent and virtual currency practices. A statement from Cognisphere is below. Animation-style games and shows are well received by global audience and players across various ages. Genshin Impact is a popular, free-to-play anime-style game designed for older teens and adults. While we believe many of the FTC's allegations are inaccurate, like, we're going to agree to it, but those guys. We agreed to this settlement because we value the trust of our community and share a commitment to transparency for our players. Yeah, that's what it is, right? It's got nothing to do with you like, shit, man, we're going to lose a big player in our market here that's going to lose us a chunk of money, which we definitely don't want to do that. Under the agreement, we'll introduce the new age gate and parental consent protections for children and young teens and increase our in-game disclosure around virtual currency and rewards for players in the US in the coming months. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there's going to be a lot of kids just going to Mum, do this for me. Sharon's the owner of the account now. But yeah. I think this is good to see, right? I think this is good to see, yeah. I think this is a fair thing, right? You know, 500 for characters and 500 for weapons, holy money. Yeah, you know, and again, this is not exclusive to Genshin in regards to how much you can spend on these games, right? I don't want to like seem like I'm saying like, holy shit, Genshin is fucking shit. But you know, this is like going to be the first title, and I would imagine others are going to follow, right? I think that there's going to be companies out there that are going to look at this and go, because they've gone after Genshin. Why? The biggest player in the West, right? Biggest player in the West. One of the biggest players in the space, right? If not the biggest over the last 5 years. Definitely the biggest over the last 5 years. Go after the top dog. Everybody else will step in line, right? All the other companies will go, well, we don't want to get sued and have to reach a settlement and then pay out and then do it anyway. Let's just do it proactively. So this is a warning shot across the bows, I think, to all of the other gacha companies as well. So at the moment, at least in the US, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing this pop up in all the other gacha games, guys. Honestly. So yeah, no thanks, I almost say semi-free to play. This is US at the moment, experimental. The pool chances of consolidation, the total rates to pull it. You're gonna write more mature story then. Yeah, well, this is a thing, isn't it? Because this is what some of the people when Wuthering Waves temporarily had its rating go up. There was a lot of people saying, well, this is good because maybe we might get some more mature stuff. I don't know if we will, because honestly, I don't think we're getting such light-hearted stories in some games, or like not so much light-hearted, but maybe less mature tonality and themes from games out of the fact that, oh, we want to get these kids to enjoy these. I think there's a lot of adults out there that want that stuff, you know? I think that's what it is. I also think there's a lot of adults who don't, because I think there's plenty of kids younger who want gritty shit. Like, I remember when I was fucking 14. Dude, you know, when I was a kid, I've always loved Star Trek, right? But you know, when I was a kid, my favourite episodes was when they were fighting and shit was happening, you know what I mean? Obviously, as I've grew older, I've got to appreciate the more nuanced episodes and stuff. But yeah, man, I think there's a lot of adults who love that stuff as well, right? But yeah, be interesting to see what happens. I guess, you know, there is that option though, if we do get increased age ratings, potentially. But then again, with China being the way China is, will we actually get that unless there's some potentially non-Chinese games that come out into the market and maybe go hard into being a little bit more adult if they have to do this anyway, and see how that goes for them. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how things go, see how fast this spreads to other games, because I'm assuming it will. See how fast this spreads to other regions, because I'm assuming it will as well. And I guess we'll see what this means for the gacha games in the future. I remember when the rumblings of the regulations for the EU, people were like, is it going to change shit? I think it is. I think things are going to start to change. I'm not saying that the games are going to start to change, but how it's presented is obviously going to change. So, yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think about this one, guys. I'm probably going to upload this as a video as well. So, let me know in the comment section, all that good stuff. And if you've enjoyed it, give it a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, good job.